Payments for goods and services on your website with Sagicor Payment Gateway. Integrate in as little as 30 minutes. Conditions apply. The time by Sagicor Bank is
7 o'clock. It's time for the Morning Watch, which is brought to you today by AIM Financial Corporation Limited. AIM has a loan for any purpose. Visit any of our branches in Mandeville, Kingston, Spanish Town, Portmore, Maypen, Oterius, and Montego Bay.
Tired of the high interest rates and the whole heap of loan payments every month? Take a debt consolidation loan from AIM to pay credit card bills and all other high interest rate loans from other institutions. Make one low monthly payment to AIM and take home some extra money in your pocket. That's financial freedom. One loan, one low payment, more money in your pocket. Call AIM today to lower your loan payments. And remember, you won't find a better deal elsewhere. Guaranteed.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you're overseas and on the move, U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, killing kids, themselves, and others. In the second watch, sterling recognition. For our social media question, we ask, what is the first thing you think we need to do to save our children from a killing behavior? Please share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's I quote.
Our I quote this morning is an island quote. Patient man ride donkey. We should exercise great patience in order to reach our goals.
Good morning, DJ.
Good morning, Dr. Toussaint. How are you today?
I am thanking God for another day. How are you?
I am good. I am good.
Yeah, patient man ride donkey. I wonder what the women ride. By the way, you ever ride donkey yet?
No, I have not. I've seen them, but never ridden them.
Oh, you have never gone on a donkey?
No, I haven't.
Quarter your life gone, DJ.
Apparently.
It's a wonderful experience. We'll talk about it later, all right?
All right.
Okay, the first watch will be back after this break.
I'm Tammy.
I'm Wayne.
And we are the Mitchells. Our life is a busy vibe.
We have our vlogging and music.
Entertainment for the kids.
Them love the online gaming, you see.
And streaming enough shows.
So whether we are at home or on the road,
Flow Yard and Road is made for our vibe.
Power your everywhere vibe with Yard and Road and get up to 150 megabits per second fiber fast internet at home and fully loaded mobile with unlimited social and YouTube data. Anywhere talking text plus gigs and gigs of any use data. All for a special offer of $4,999 plus GCT. Yard and Road is for the way you live. Flow, Jamaica's network. Visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
How to prevent breast cancer? We're not really sure. So early detection is your best protection, and self-examination could be your salvation. So look good upon them appearance and investigate them texture, and use your hand to get acquainted with your breast tissue architecture. So the minute there's a change and you notice something strange, you can pay a doctor a visit so them can find out what is in it. And because some lumps are small that you can't feel them with your hand, if you're high risk or turn 40, if you start the mammogram. And if cancer is the diagnosis, you could have a good prognosis, especially if it not start to spread. So between hand and mammogram, make we fight this thing as hard as we can.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, just about a week ago, a 17-year-old female student stabbed and killed a fellow female student. And of course, she's now charged with murder. And a few days later, we got reports that a 12-year-old boy had committed suicide. Too many of our children are angry, frustrated, and some apparently have killing on their minds. They seem to be prepared as they travel with weapons or have access to implements that facilitate death. Suicides, murders, manslaughter. What's happening with our children? Well, to discuss these and other related issues, we have online Mrs. Tracy Ann Thompson, President of the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselors in Education and a guidance counselor at St. Aloysius Primary, as well as Pastor Sean Williams from the Fellowship Tabernacle Church. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning, listeners. Trust that you are experiencing God's goodness this morning.
Great.
Good morning,
Pastor
everyone.
Williams, of course. Morning, Mrs. Staff Thompson. All right, let's hit the ground running because this topic, I tell you, it's so sad. But how have the recent deaths of children in Jamaica by suicide or homicide impacted you personally and the organizations you represent? Beginning with you, Mrs. Taft Thompson.
It has caused us to be more proactive, I guess, in terms of making parents and caregivers more aware of some signs that they should really look out for, as well as teachers in the schools. So it's more of promoting a sense of awareness with all caregivers for children.
Yeah, so we're going to talk more about that. What about you, Pastor Williams? How has that impacted you personally and the church?
Let me be honest here. A pastor I am, but in my mind, I'm first and foremost a father. And when I saw what happened, I would say to you that it's been a long time that I've felt that devastated and also powerless at the same time. As if I see some things happening and I felt like I could do nothing to stop it. And it was a deep-rooted sense of almost the inevitability. And I had to find that quiet place to remind myself that no matter how bad things look, God can do greater. So my first initial reaction was real deep sorrow for what is happening among or in the lives of our nation's youth.
Yeah. So as we talk about that even further from your individual perspectives, how is it? How did we come here and reach this point in our nation where some of our children have become so distressed, disgruntled, so angry, so aggressive that they resort to killing themselves or killing others? Mrs. Taft Thompson, any answers there?
Yes. It's shocking when it gets to this level, but we can see a build-up of it. You have
a build-up.
Yes, it's a build-up because suicidal ideations and actions or even aggressive killings. I don't believe it's the student from from Kingston Technical that she intended to kill her. You know, right now I'm sure she's experiencing some grief to say I can't believe they really do that. A lot of our children are going through some emotional distress that's not being addressed. So opportunities need to be presented for them to share what they're experiencing. Many of them have been going through grief, and grief is not only about the death of a parent or relative, but also the loss of something that they hold dear. And but in our Jamaican context, we think that children they don't hold anything dear. We can take anything from them at any time without having a discussion and to even let them understand why that thing or themselves was removed from a particular situation. And sometimes too, they feel insignificant. Like, the world would be better if I'm not here. What am I there for? you know? And some of them, quite too many of them, are going through abuse, be it physical or emotional. Of course, I would put sexual in that physical, but they are going through a lot, and they have a lot processing that at their age they should not even be processing. They're involved in adult content which they don't have the experience to process and handle. And once you have an overload, you tend to eventually it needs to be released. So the suicide or the aggression is one way of the overload being released. And even conflict in the family. Some persons don't want to talk about that. That's taboo because what? My family is perfect. But there's no such perfect family. There are issues which are normal. It's just how do we handle them? So I believe that we're not facing some of these topics enough for the children and talking to them about it, spending time to hear from them how they're interpreting all the information that they're taking in through sight and listening.
Yeah, Pastor Williams, how do you respond to those though who say, "Boy, over the years, our children have been experiencing grief, abuse, conflict in the family for years. Why is it now we're having these incidents seem to be more prevalent?" Pastor Williams,
Well,
what's your
first
take
of all, I
on that?
want to thank Mr. Thompson and all like her who are championing the cause of our young people in very difficult times and with not much resources. I want to just help us understand, though, to kind of take a bigger picture, because sometimes I think we lose sight of this reality that we have an enemy who has come to steal, kill, and destroy, and the bigger picture that there is a concerted, deliberate attack upon our youth. Because if you know the word, children are a heritage from the Lord. They are a gift from God. And the Bible says, "Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them, for they are arrows." They are God's weapon to attack the enemy, not just now, but also in the future. So the enemy has different plans and schemes to attack our youth. And as people of God, we have to take responsibility for our youth, to value our young people. And as Mr. Thompson shared, many of us, we don't see them, as valuable. Their thoughts, their decisions, their concerns, and foremost in our hearts. And so what we have, a group of young people, many young people feeling alone, overwhelmed, but no one to go to, no one to talk to, no one to listen. And they are a product of us. What concerns me a lot in this dialogue is that the adults are not taking responsibility for where our young people are, as if they are the reasons why they are this way. We have planted seeds, we have not set a good example, and our society routinely addresses problems through violence.
Tell you what,
So why are we
Pastor. I'm so sorry. Pastor. We're
Mm,
up on a break. Just hold that thought. We'll
yeah.
be right back.
Get better coverage for yourself and your family as low as $800 a month. The time by Jane Life Vest from Jane Life Insurance is
$7.15 and a half.
National serving the people of Jamaica with your favorite foods to help you stay strong. Grab your national bottle, original, truly Jamaican. Something for all occasion, good for your breakfast, lunch or snack. Grab your national bottle, original, truly Jamaican. Best quality, 70 years strong. National Bill of the Nation. National Baking Company, baked with pride since 52.
Don't miss Fun in the Sun Community Engagement Event, Saturday, October 15th, the Pembroke Hall High School Field, presented by Glory Music, Sagicor, The Best Dressed Chicken, Lanneman and Morris Shipping Company, Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, New Testament Church of God, Got Creative Media, Water, True Juice, Bigger, Phoenix Braintree, Jamaica Moves, Pembroke Hall High School, Love 101 FM, Visual Vibe, Hawkeye Security, New Era, Studio 8, Sign Channel.
Fun in the Sun.
A Love 101 endorsed event.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in this, the first watch, we're discussing the whole matter of children engaging themselves in homicide and suicide, killing kids. Why is this happening? And we have online Mrs. Tracy Ann Thompson, President of the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselors in Education, and Pastor Sean Williams from the Fellowship Tabernacle Church. Before the break, Pastor Williams, you were making some serious pronouncements there. Go ahead.
Well, I was sharing, from my heart and from my observation, how we grew up in a society that we have not highly esteemed our youth. We say stuff like children must be seen and what? And not heard. To not be heard is one of the most serious things you can do to anyone, that what I say does not matter. And I want to remind us all of a simple scripture where it says in Galatians that God is not mocked. Do not be deceived. Whatever a man sow, that you will reap. So we are reaping now, Jamaica. We are reaping, and we are reaping what we have sown. And we have to take responsibility for what we have sown and begin to sow things differently. Or if not, this is going to continue.
How would you respond, Pastor Williams, to those who say that if you're going to say that adults are not taking responsibility for the behavior of the children, isn't that a form of absolving the children of their personal responsibility? Isn't it true that some children are just bad and aggressive and violent?
No, the two are not mutually exclusive. I think children ought to have some sense of responsibility. But let me take you to an example. If you go to the bank to make a withdrawal and you have not made a deposit, how can you expect to make a withdrawal if you have not made a deposit? We are expecting things from our children that we have not deposited in them. You see, in my youth, I went to Sunday school. I had to know verse. I received deposits. Many of our young people have not received deposits, and though they take some sense of responsibility, yes, but they are bombarded. They are saturated, and they don't have the emotional or spiritual strength or maturity to address it. So yes, they ought to have a measure of responsibility, but as a principle, authority should take greater responsibility. And adults, parents, we, churches, we cannot say, man, it's all on them. What have we done? What are we not doing? Because it is really a matter of crisis, and I hope this does not become a 9-day wonder, because there are people who are silently suffering. Young people are silently suffering, and it has to be seen as a national crisis that requires a national and everybody's solution.
Interesting. Mrs. Taft Thompson, on the same point if you want to elaborate. What point do we hold the children personally responsible?
I totally agree with Pastor Williams, and I would like to add to what he has said in terms of teaching of values. The schools teach values, the church also teaches values. What values is the home teaching? The home is the first school. And if those parents have not been taught values themselves, how can they teach their children values? If a people don't know God and know Him in the true sense of the word, how can they even teach love and respect? Because out of love and respect, you will heal a nation, you will heal a people. If I love and respect you, I'm going to speak to you with kind words. I am not going to be belittling you. I am not going to be ignoring you. I am going to be caring for you. The love I show to you, you would feel a sense of belonging, like you are a part of this. But if we don't teach that kind of love, if we don't teach respect for self and respect for others, if we don't promote that, then what we're seeing now is what we'll continue to see on a larger scale. When I personally counsel families going through distresses with their children, I ask them where do the children learn about values and their place in the home, understanding their place. Everybody looking on the other person. Nobody spends the time. They don't go to church, because they don't believe in God and the church are hypocritical. Be the change you want to see.
But are there not cases, Staff Thompson, I'm sorry, are there not cases where the values are taught, but the children just behave, opposite to those values that they have been taught in the home? We have prodigal sons and prodigal daughters, no matter what values.
If I can say here, no one can deny that adults, human beings, young people have the ability to make choices. And eventually that choice will be made and they take responsibility for those choices.
Right.
But I believe if we teach people, as Miss Taft Thompson shared, about love, then it improves their chances of making the right choice. Because love is not simply a feeling or an emotion, it's a principle that we live by. That I choose to love from a place of my will and my obedience to God. Therefore, I don't steal. I don't scam. I don't rob you. I don't try to disrespect you because I choose as a principle to love you. And this principle is key. If there's no love in our nation, then we are going to see more hate. The ability even to process pain, to forgive. Simply the act of forgiveness and processing pain. Who teach us how to do that?
Yeah. And you're coming again, Mrs. Staff Thompson. Go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to add to what Pastor is saying, that we have to look on the consequences of what we're doing as adults. And when I go back to parenting again, if the parent does not see, it's shocking. Some parents didn't even want to have their children. And what hurts me is some of the parents actually say it to the child. So if your parent does not want you and vocalizes it, then how will the child feel about other persons? And some parents, because they really don't care, anything was spoiled rotten, right? Tell people all the time. Children are the same. If you spoil them, they will become rotten. And anything that's rotten is not good. It doesn't give a good odor. It doesn't give a good taste. So it's the same thing with our children. Some children too, they have so much power that they don't even know what to do with it. They think they're in charge. And this is what some of the teachers are facing, where they come into the class and they think that they know it all and they are it all. And then the parents come and back them up, instead of us seeing them as vessels to be taught, to be poured into.
Yes.
So again,
there There has to
Yeah,
be
we
a
have.
partnership
Has to
between
be.
Yes,
parents,
Yeah.
right,
schools,
right. School and church.
teachers,
We
and church.
have a, we're about 5 minutes left. We have been focusing maybe in many ways on the homicide aspect of it. The suicide aspect, Mrs. Taft Thompson. Are there any signs, signals that we can, identify for persons who may be suicidal and need to be addressed
Yes.
in the school among
For
children?
children, they oftentimes talk about their feelings. They may write or draw that they're feeling empty or unwanted or have a lot of question signs. They may be joking about dying and death or wanting to die, that kind of thing. Don't take those things as jokes. They may become isolated, and some even change their sleep patterns. As you know, a major sign of depression too is like when you sleep a lot. So, and some experience physical pain. They're just in pain all the time. They have stomach pains, headaches that can't be explained. Those are things to be checked out. Maybe they need some counseling. They have something to unload. Sometimes they're emotionally distant, so they don't make connections with anything that requires them to dive in emotionally. They are just indifferent. So we have isolation. I'm sure if I mentioned that they want to be by themselves and they act out aggressively towards persons getting in their space. So those are some things that we can look out for. And to just interact that is to just speak to them with compassion, spend some time with them. And suicide is not something anybody can talk to the kids about. Get professional help to deal with it because it can actually make it worse.
Yeah. And Pastor Williams, while we wind up our discussion, in terms of the church, what are some of the recommendations you'd have for our churches in Jamaica to be more integrally involved in preventing this if we can, and how do we deal with it if it happens?
Quickly, we have to create and facilitate a safe space where our youth, our children feel empowered and strengthened to share without condemnation or judgment. And two, we need to train our people how to respond and, if necessary, how to escalate or refer the person to more experienced help. But number one, just be listening with your ears, with your eyes. Seek to understand, seek to see where they're coming from, and just love upon them and speak life over them. They are highly valued by God, and they have a unique place to play, or part to play in His kingdom.
Any final thoughts, Mrs. Taft Thompson?
As Pastor Williams said, the three entities have to work together in order to save our children. It is not all hopeless. I'm very hopeful that once the three entities, the school, the church, and the family, once we work together in supervising our children and teaching values, I believe that they can be saved. They want to be saved. So we have to speak positively over them. There's life and death in the tongue. So let us choose to give life to our children. Give consequences for actions or teach consequences to actions and enforce them.
Yes. And just a final thought, Mrs. Taft Thompson, in terms of the institution you represent. How can we get in touch with you? Is there any number that person could call?
Yes, the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselors in Education. You can contact us at 625-3502. That's 625-3502. And we'll be more than happy to make the necessary recommendations and referrals as needs be, as we're aligned with some of these agencies. Even the Ministry of Health, they have a helpline that members of the public can access.
Okay.
There's also
all right.
International, yes. So
yes.
their
Okay.
agency is ready to help.
Yes, thank you both for joining us. Very interesting, informative discussion, and have a productive day and continue doing the good work, great work that you're both doing. Bless you.
Thank you. And the same
Thank
to
you.
you.
Shalom.
Yeah, man. Listeners, the Morning Watch will return in just a moment.
Talk to JN Bank today to find out about achieving your own sweet home in 30 days. The time by JN Bank Mortgage is
7:31.
Colgate Triple Action. 3 benefits for a deep clean. As a mother, you always want to give the best to your family and to make them happy. With Colgate Triple Action, you give them 3 reasons to smile: cavity protection, whiter teeth, and fresh breath. A unique formula with a minty flavor they will love. Colgate Triple Action. Find it at your favorite store.
I'm Tammy.
I'm Wayne.
And we are the Mitchells. Our life is a busy vibe.
We have our vlogging and music.
Entertainment for the kids.
Them love the online gaming, you see.
And streaming enough shows.
So whether we are at home or on the road,
Flow Yard and Road is made for our vibe.
Power your everywhere vibe with Yard and Road and get up to 150 megabits per second fiber fast internet at home and fully loaded mobile with unlimited social and YouTube data. Anywhere talking text plus gigs and gigs of any use data. All for a special offer of $4,999 plus GCT. Yard and Road is for the way you live. Flow, Jamaica's network. Visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now look at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. In the Gleaner, Mocha launches course to train polygraph examiners. And also, savagery. Family horrified after man rapes, chops girls, leaving them for dead in home attack. My goodness. In the Observer, a ticking time bomb. Unruly St. Elizabeth students giving police hell with drug use. Schools tight-lipped to protect image. Also, we see Michael Misery. Postgrad students frustrated over unavailable grades and poor service. In the Loop, Jamaica, businesses encouraged to report cybersecurity vulnerabilities. And also in Loop News, Jamaica, cops appeal for help to find missing St. James teen, 16-year-old Tyreka Gladstone. Those are some of the major stories in our newspaper as well. Coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our social media question. What is the first thing you think we need to do to save our children from a killing behavior? We're asking you to leave a comment on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. We'll be right back.
From generation to generation, Jamaicans have depended on JN Bank to make the pride and joy of providing a safe place for their families possible. Now, with no processing fees and no down payment mortgage options, you can open the door to your own sweet home, a legacy to hand to your next generation. Visit jnbank.com to get pre-approved today. JN Bank will help you find a way. The first sound they make is to simply let the world know they're here. And then it's our duty to help them show the world why they're here in the first place.
Give them every advantage with the Guardian Achiever, a plan that provides for their educational dreams and protects their health and life in the process. For more information, call 888-4LIFE to speak to an advisor or visit myguardiangroup.com.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now join Deidre for a look at how our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp friends answer today's question. What is the first thing you think we need to do to save our children from a killing behavior? Deidre?
Jackie Douglas says children need to start going back to Sunday or Sabbath school. Children that grow up in church are able to control their temper much better than children who are exposed to any whims. She can attest to this. Gail from Manchester, the schools need to be educated of the consequences of killing. I think they may mean the students, and that they need to love one another. Kama Irving, they need to stop listening to the violent music that is being played. And we have a voice note here from Sister Matilda.
Good morning, Mrs. Parchment and Dr. Toussaint. Since it's true that children live what they learn, we adults need to replace the practice of an eye for an eye with do unto others as you would have them do unto you, so our children can follow our example. Secondly, since God's word in our lives is the greatest safeguard against destructive behaviors, both adults and children need to be more guided by the word of God in schools, in the communities, and so on. So let's get back to church going, Sunday or Sabbath schools, and that will, and let the word be taught in the homes. That will be a very, very great help.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's it, Deidre.
Yes, that is it.
A mouthful there. I want to thank all those who took the time out to respond. Thank you so very much. Valid comments being made. And so, listeners, we now segue into the second watch. And the winner is, well, everybody. Whether they left the ballroom with a trophy or not, all the nominees in this year's Sterling Awards walked away winners, or at least that's what some are saying. And several of those same names have strong ties, would you believe it, to Love 101 FM. Of the many that were nominated, we have with us this morning 4 gentlemen steeped in the gospel, ready to share their sterling experience with us. And we are referring, of course, to Mr. Nigel Wilkinson, the winner of the Sterling Award for Excellence. Miguel Campbell. Somebody saying, who that? Well, he's DJ Rebirth, the winner of the Event DJ of the Year. Mr. Victor Brown, nominee, Breakout Sensation of the Year. Wow. And Shane Haslam, nominee, Group of the Year, Unity Singers. Go on, Shane and the others. Good morning to you all.
Morning, morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Who that? Anybody?
Hearing me okay?
Anybody else? Who else saying good morning?
Shane is here.
Yes,
morning.
yes. Good morning. All right, good to have you all. I don't know if you have all 4. All right, good. All right, gentlemen, let me first of all say congrats on right. You have done yourself and your families proud, and you have done Love FM proud. Let me begin with Mr. Nigel Wilkinson, the gospel music machine, man. Nigel, remind us of what you won and how it came about as you understand it.
The Sterling, morning to you, morning brethren from Love FM and to all the listeners.
Yes.
I won the Sterling Gospel Music Award, Sterling Award for Excellent. and it has noted veteran radio announcer. How it came about, I'm clueless. I would love to ask the promoters, the organizers myself, how it came about. But some of what they noted, and I had to listen back yesterday actually to hear, because I was totally caught off guard on Saturday. I have been in broadcasting at various levels for the past near 37 years, starting with the Grace Hour broadcast of the Missionary Church Association. That's 37 years, 29 years with Love FM, 12 years with Back to the Bible. Somebody tried adding it up and said I must be a very old man. No, remember they overlap. So I think the contribution there and interaction with the with a number of the artists at various levels. You okay, Rev? So I think I pulled it all together.
I still trying to process that.
No, some people have said, but 37 plus 29 plus 12. I tell you all. So I think they kind of brought that together, and my own interaction with the music on Love FM. I think I brought some things to the table when I started there. So they did the research, and I'm honored. I thank them for this award. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Victor.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about this breakout sensation of the year business. Breakout sensation of the year. It's a sensational topic. This. Tell us about this one, Victor.
Well, good morning, sir. Good morning, colleagues and audience.
Yes,
it was
yes,
surprising
yes,
to me.
audience.
I mean, both nominations, because it was Breakout Sensation of the Year and EP of the Year, both categories.
Not hearing you so well, Victor. I don't know if it's me alone. Victor, I'm not hearing you so well.
A little low,
Are you hearing me more
Not hearing you so
now?
well, Victor. Not sure what's going. Yeah, man. Yeah, lower to the mic. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so, it was surprising to me.
Go ahead, Victor.
Because there were two categories, EP of the Year and the Breakout Sensation of the Year. I did not expect either. I was at home and I saw some messages coming in from some friends of mine saying congrats, and I thought it was a joke because some of my friends like to play pranks like that. So when I looked on Instagram, I realized that Sterling Awards had tagged me in the post, and the nominations were there for both categories. I was very honored, very humbled to have been, considered amongst, a very, very fine group of young men and ministers. So it was a surprise to me, genuinely, and I'm just immensely humbled and honored that, I was even considered for both of those categories.
So what the breakout sensation is about?
All right, so
broke out. What mean? Where does it?
No. Breakout Sensation of the Year is a category that has to do with a young artist that within that year seems to have really emerged in a very prominent way, or seems to have emerged on the scene in a very definitive way. So, would have been, obscure or behind the scenes for some time, and then, due to their marketing and the work that they would have put in and the music and promotion and stuff, they would have been more prominent in gospel circles, attending events, ministering, and that sort of thing. So, yes, that's Breakout Sensation of the Year. And then EP of the Year is for Extended Play of the Year, which has to do with, a project that's a bit shorter than an album. My EP was 7 tracks, and, so it was nominated for EP of the Year alongside some others.
Very interesting. All right, we understand what the breakout sensation is about even more. And EP of the Year. Shane, you're with us, right? Shane. Yes, Shane, Group of the Year, Unity Singers. Tell us about that.
Yes, we were nominated Group of the Year. Morning, gentlemen, again. We were nominated Group of the Year.
Good morning.
It is a privilege. It's really a privilege to be numbered among the many for Group of the Year. And then this year we, as a group, we are celebrating our 15-year anniversary. So it was really a big thing for us as a group. being awarded or being nominated to be on the Sterling Awards
Nominated.
for
Yeah.
2022. It was really a big thing, and we really give God thanks. As Victor said, when I saw the messages coming in being tagged group of the year, it was really, and what enlightened us, even though we were not awarded group of the year, just the responses on the Sterling Awards social media pages congratulating Unity Singers being nominated was, trust me, it was really overwhelming. So we give God thanks for that.
Yeah. So Shane, you sing? You sing in the group? What is your role in the group?
Yes, so I am one of the main lead singers. I am also the manager of the group. We have started 15 years ago. This was something that was birthed when I was going to community college. The Lord had laid on my heart to get different singers from different denominational backgrounds.
Well, on there, Shane, we want to hear more about this because singer manager, we want to hear more about this, but we're up on a break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Jamaica. Glory Music presents Fun in the Sun community engagement at the Pembroke Hall High School Field, Saturday, October 15, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. with health and dental services, children's village, sports, Jamaica moves, and a grand gospel concert with Kevin Dowswell, Carlene Davis, Rhoda Isabella, Gotti Gotti, Nadine Blair and Perpetual Sounds of Praise, and Zio Raymond, Pastor Donnie McClurkin with the word. Fun in the Sun, Pembroke Hall, Saturday, October 15. It's free. Visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
A Love 101 endorsed event.
He knows my name.
Here is your opportunity to connect with someone who will listen, pray, and give guidance. It's the telephone counseling ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church. Please call 876-220-6474. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Please talk to someone if you're finding it particularly challenging to cope during this period of global crisis. Someone is waiting for your call. Please reach out today. 876-220-6474. It's the telephone counseling ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church.
This is a reminder that somebody cares. Endorsed by Love 101.
He knows my name.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in this, the second watch, we're looking at the sterling, or, we're having sterling recognition of individuals from Love FM who were nominated and or became winners of the Sterling Gospel Awards. We're talking about Nigel Wilkinson, Miguel Campbell, Victor Brown, Shane Haslam. And if you're still wondering who's Miguel Campbell, DJ Rebirth. We're going to hear from him soon. But Shane, before the break, you're telling us that you were manager and the singer of the Unity Singers. Go ahead, tell us some more.
Yes, so basically I was sharing about how we actually started. Well, our group actually started when I was going to community college, and Kimola Brown Lowe, she was myself, her, and two others were originally started Unity from back then, different singers from different churches. After community college, everybody departed and it actually died phase. But there was a rebirth, and we give God thanks for that. And since then, we have been going. We presently have 7 original songs out that have been played on the air, and we have been awarded Best Gospel Group of the Year on the North Coast 3 times. We have been awarded Best Gospel Group by Love Gospel Station in New York 3 times. So we really give God thanks. And then now having Sterling as a nominee, it's really a big thing for us. So we are actually going and doing what we can do for God.
All right, you spoke about Rebirth. Let's bring in DJ Rebirth, Event DJ of the Year. Rebirth, you're there?
Hello, morning.
Yeah, man. Explain this Event DJ of the Year that you have been awarded. You have won.
Well, I guess it would come from being involved in many different, well, I say many, because based on the whole COVID occurrence since 2020, not many events, quote unquote events, especially the premier events that we know and love, were on the scene at that time. But since then, things have been picking up slowly but surely. I guess, as Victor had mentioned, it's a presence. It's a presence that I guess the individual or the group, as Shane had mentioned, would be involved in different events and the presence that they create, the individual or group creates. And I guess it's just an overall buzz. I mean, I'm fresh. I'm very, very fresh off the heels of love. What we call it, the summer tour. I love summer tour. So we're fresh off the heels of that. So a lot of us from the state radio station, Nigel, myself, Victor, Shane, a number of us who are nominated as well. Nadine Blair. We're fresh off the heels of I Love Summer, so it comes with that kind of flair too. If you want to call it that. So as a family, we've all banded together and we've strengthened our ties with each other and the station, creating such a wonderful platform for us to experience the wonderful, I guess, the blessings from being a part of the radio station and being a part of the gospel music industry. And we just have to congratulate each other, I congratulate my running mates, as well, persons or DJs who have been a part of the journey for even longer than I have been. I want to congratulate not just Chinny, but Stico, Super, and DJ Noy. A lot of us are a part of the industry. Not many of us have been able to get the recognition that we deserve, and those other guys, apart from myself, really and truly deserve to be recognized, And Nigel, big up yourself as well. You have paved the way for DJ Rebirth. And I can't call Nigel name, and I don't call Colleen name, and I don't call Nadine name, and most importantly, I don't call Basilia Barnaby Cuff name, because based on her exit and moving on to higher heights, she has
her husband.
She left the door open for me,
Yes.
And her husband,
All right.
Great. The door open for me. So,
Great. Nigel, still there?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm going to ask all four of you, but I've been beginning with Nigel. What does being nominated and/or winning mean to you?
Well, to be recognized by your peers is always a good thing. And the interesting thing is, and I believe I'm not taking from the response of others, but I think I can say on behalf of all of us that you're not doing the work for the award. You're just doing the work. There's a call. There's something inside of you burning to get it done, and so you do that. But when the occasion comes where you are, recognized, it's a good feeling and an encouragement to continue to do what you're doing. And I want to squeeze in very quickly a thank you to my daughter before time runs out, because I was so caught off guard on Saturday that in my few words I thanked my wife and didn't thank my daughter. So Cece, thank you for being there for the 24 years to help me to be who I am,
Yes. Great. Victor?
Yes, sir. I believe Sir Wilkinson would have, really eloquently summed it up. It's true that we don't do it for the recognition of people, but when colleagues, peers, persons around you are able to recognize the sacrifices that have been made and just what you've been doing behind the scenes many of the times, it does encourage you. I remember in 2018 when I started recording Hard Work EP. There were times rent money had to go into studio production. Javis was very supportive and helpful. Colleagues of mine who were musicians at the time, background vocalists and others who would have really, really been supportive and helpful, oftentimes putting very, very long hours in the studio. A lot of sacrifices were made. And so, it was an incredible feeling just to know that all of that was done to the glory of the Lord. People were impacted and somebody saw it fit to say, hey, we see what you're doing, we recognize the work that you've done, and we appreciate it. And so that really, really has meant a whole lot. So, yeah, it's a great feeling.
Great. Shane, what's your take on that?
Well, I'm basically repeating what everybody said. It's a really big deal. Sterling Awards, and knowing that Sterling is now a Caribbean thing. As Nigel would have said earlier, it's not all about the award and being known by people, but the fact that you're acknowledged within the gospel industry amongst many others, it means a lot, because especially for us as a group, we know that there are quite a few groups out there, but having unity singers being acknowledged in this area, it really means something for us as we do ministry.
And of course, DJ Rebirth.
Well, firstly, to God be all the glory. To God be all the glory. We don't take any glory for ourselves. We acknowledge the fact that we are being acknowledged. Being nominated, even just being nominated, is a very, very big deal, because there are more persons out there with talent, but you've been chosen. You've been chosen to be recognized. But it is a good feeling. It's one of those, for me, I did not expect it at all. I was maybe sort of like Nigel, blindsided, by the victory. But it is what it is. Just keep it moving, keep working, and just love everybody, respect everybody, without having good producers and good singers like Shane and Victor. We wouldn't have good music to play, and we wouldn't be relevant. So it takes a good calling, calling from the Lord, and listening to your calling as an artist, to give us good music, as DJs and announcers to play.
It's all good.
So,
it's all good.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, man. It's all good. All right, we're going to close now, but I just, were you all at the event? Am I taking that all you were at the event? Gentlemen?
I was not.
And Shane, Victor, you were there?
Yes, I was there.
All right, good. Very quickly, gentlemen. Who would you say among you all was the best dressed nominee of the night? Beginning with you. Okay, Nigel, me here. Who else? Victor, who is the best dressed nominee of the night among the four of you?
Shane.
Shane was the best dressed. Wow. Shane, who was the best dressed nominee of the night? Shane.
I am here.
Who was
Shane? You never see your outfit. Sorry, bro.
Shane nominated himself. Nigel, who was the best dressed nominee of the night?
Dr. Toussaint is a hand tailor. Hand tailor.
I hear that Nigel was blinging tonight. I hear it was blinging. Gentlemen, thank you all for joining us. Congratulations again. Job well done. Bless you.
Thank you. Blessings.
Thank you. And thank you for having us.
All right. Thank you, listeners, for being with us. Join us again tomorrow. as we continue to set the stage for discussion of topical and controversial issues. For information or get copies of this program, call our production department at 876-968-9596-7. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and our guest. I'm Dylan Toussaint. Giving a shout out to the pastor and members of the Miracle Open Bible Church as I hand you back to Love in the Morning with DJ Patrick.
The Morning Watch was brought to you by AIM Financial Corporation. AIM has a loan for any purpose. Visit any of our branches in Mandeville, Kingston, Spanish Town, Portmore, Maypen, or Chirias.